I want to share a technique that I found to accurately align track saw rails when you're joining them with those connectors. I doubt I'm the first person to ever do this, but I haven't seen it explained before. I actually got one of the 3-meter rails exactly so that I wouldn't have to mess with these connectors, which I've heard are kind of frustrating. The problem is I found that my 3-meter rail isn't straight. I'm talking to Festool about hopefully getting it replaced under warranty. But in the meantime, it's just hanging here on the wall sad because it's a failure at its only purpose in life. Sort of like decaf coffee. The method that I've seen explained most often before is to use a good straight edge to align things, then hold things in place while you tighten up the connectors. Ends of the rails are not always cut exactly square, so it's best to leave a little gap in between them instead of ramming them together. Whether you put the straight edge on the outside edge of the rail or in here along the ridge where the track saw actually rides, the longer the straight edge, the more accurate it is. I'm trying to join two 1400 millimeter rails so that I can do a full sheet rip cut accurately. And when I use this 3-foot straight edge from Lee Valley, although it's very accurate for its length, I tend to get little errors towards the ends of the rails. This is a 50-inch aluminum precision straight edge, and it's still not long enough to give me the accuracy that I want towards the ends. The best results I've gotten with the straight edge approach were actually to use another rail, a 1900 millimeter rail that is remarkably straight, and yet I still had little errors towards the very ends of the long joined rail. So the method that works best for me is to use the dog hole grid of my MFT as a straight edge. These MFT tops are CNC-cut and they're very accurate in general. So what I do is I put one bench dog near each end of each section of track. And then I push up each section flush against its pair of bench dogs, and I effectively have created a really long straight edge. In this case, my MFT is a dashboard, so it's nearly 8 feet long, which I think means it's the straightest thing of its length in my shop. Once I get each section of track pushed up flush against its bench dogs, I carefully tighten the top connector, then carefully flip things over, cozy things up against a similarly set up set of bench dogs for the back side, and tighten the bottom connector. I'm not claiming this is perfect, nor am I claiming it's the equivalent of an 8-foot Starrett straight edge, but it's giving me the best results that I've gotten so far.